Very sorry about not being able to teach today. As you can hear, my voice has been like this since yesterday, since I got home. So I just recorded this video and we'll watch it together during class, and you guys can take notes as I go along through it. So today we're going to be talking about net worth, and what net worth is a combination of your assets and your liabilities. Now, I realize we've probably never heard the words assets or liabilities before, or if you have heard them, you weren't quite sure what they meant. So assets are something that you own. So this can be something like your checking account, your savings account, any investments that you have. If you own your house, it can be your cell phone. If you own your cell phone, your TV, if you own a TV, anything that you own adds to your net worth. And then you have liabilities. And liabilities are something that you're either borrowing or have debt on. And I'm going to give you guys just a second to write that, so we're all going to sit here and knock on silence. Right now, we're going to come here, and it says label the items below. We're either going to label them as assets or as liabilities and calculate your net worth. Now, just as a reminder, assets add to your net worth. Liabilities take away from your net worth. Right, so this right here is car payments. Now, if you have car payments, that means you don't own your car. It means that you are borrowing your car from whoever you are financing it from. So this would be considered. Then you have a gold bar. This gold bar says a value of $1,000. Now, if you just have a gold bar chilling in your bank or chilling in your backyard, or I don't know where you would have a gold bar worth $1,000, but that is your gold bar, so that is an asset. Then it says your own TV. Once again, if you own it, it is yours. That is an asset. A medical bill means you owe the hospital who took care of you. And if this medical bill is due, that means that you still continue to owe. So therefore, this is a liability. Then you have cell phone payments. 6 payments for $45 each. So let me explain this one to y'all. If you go to the store and you're trying to buy a cell phone, and you don't have enough money to buy that cell phone, what you can do is you can sign up for a plan where you pay that cell phone off over time. But until you fully pay off your cell phone, that phone is not technically yours. It is the companies that you borrowed it from. So until you fully pay off that cell phone is going to be a liability. And then you have rent, which is $800 a month for a year. That means you do not own the property you are staying on, and you are borrowing it from the person that you are leasing it from, and therefore that is a liability. And then you have your checking account. Your checking account is your very own money, and so therefore that is an asset. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to add together our assets. So if we look here, we have a gold bar that is an asset. It's worth $1,000. So we're going to add that. We're going to add our value of our TV, which is another $1,000. And then we're going to add our checking account, which is $15,000. And when we add all of that up together, we get that their assets total to be $17,000, sorry. I'm just waiting for everybody to get written. Okay, now we're going to add together our liabilities. So we'll start by looking at our car payment. Now, your first instinct might be to just write down $250. But the reason why you can't do that is it says that you are paying this off over the course of 12 months. So every month you are paying $250. So that means that we have to multiply 250 times 12 so that we can see exactly how much we owe. So we're going to do 250 times 12. 2 times 0 is 0. 5 times 2 is 10. Here, 1. 2 times 2 is 4. Plus 1 is 5. Alright, so we finished with our 2. We're on to our second number, which means we're on the second row. So we add a 0. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 2 is 2. We're going to add this all together. 0 here, 0 here. 5 plus 5 is 10. So we're going to do 0 here. 1 plus 1 is 3. Okay, so with this right here is how much we still owe on our car. And we're owing about $3,000 in debt on our car. We're just going to write the car payment right here so we can remember this. Give me just a second to get it. Alright, the next thing that you're going to see is the medical bill that is due. Now, the medical bill doesn't say to pay it off over time, so we can just say that that one is $300. Now, yeah, I'm just going to write that down. I'll write medical bill next to it so that we can remember that we owe this for the medical bill. And then the last thing, we got 2 more things. Cell phone, which is 6 payments for $45. That means that you have $45, that means that you have to make an additional 6 payments, and each of them are all $45. So what you have to do is, once again, you have to multiply to see how much you owe in your debt. So you'll do 45 times 6. And 5 times 6 is 30. Carry your 3. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 3 is 27. So for your cell phone, you still owe an additional $270 on it. And we're going to label that as cell phone. And then if you come down here, it says that you have rent, and rent is $800 a month for 1 year. Now, you're going to once again have to multiply this. If this is for a year, that technically means that it is also for 12 months. Because you are paying monthly, we have to go by month and month. So we're going to multiply 800 times 12. Two times 0 is 0. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 8 is 16. We are finished with our first one. We're going to go down to our second row, so we have to add a 0. Let me rewrite that 0. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 0 is 0. And 1 times 8 is 8. We're going to add these up together, and we're going to get $9,600. Alright, so these are all of our liabilities that we had over here. And so we're now going to take these totals, and we're going to add them together. So we're going to have 3,000 plus 300 plus 270 plus 9,600. Okay, so we're going to add up all that together. We have 7 right here, 0 right there. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 6 is 11. Carry the 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. So for our liabilities, we have a total. That doesn't seem right. Oh, yeah, that wasn't right. We have 9 plus 3, which is 12, plus 1, which is 13. Sorry about that. I did it wrong. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to write down our total liabilities, which is $13,170. Now, your assets add to your net worth. Your liabilities take away from your net worth. So what that means is that we are going to subtract our liability from our assets to figure out what our net worth is. So you're going to do 17,000. Oh, here, let me write this formula down, sorry. So you have a liability here equals net worth. So our total assets were $1,700. And your total liabilities were $13,170. And now what we're going to do is we're going to subtract these two values. I'm just going to go where I have space to write. And so I'll do 1,700 minus 13,170. This is going to give me a 0 here. We have to borrow here. That turns into a 9, and this turns into a 6. 10 minus 7 is 3. 9 minus 1 is 8. 6 minus 3 is 3. So our net worth is $3,830. I'm just going to give you guys a second to get all that written. Okay, now we're going to go to this page right here. It says which of the following are considered liabilities. This means that you owe money on it. So if we look here, it says car payment. When you pay off the car, you definitely owe money on that. A savings account is your very own money. So you do not owe that money. That is considered an asset. Your TV you also own. So that is also considered an asset. And then your medical bills, you do owe those, so they are considered liabilities. So if we come down here and we look at our answer choices, your answer choices are going to be car payment and medical bills. Alright, so this one says use the information below to determine Layla's net worth. So we're going to identify our assets and we're going to identify our liabilities. My assets, I'm going to highlight yellow. My liabilities, I'm going to highlight blue. So a savings account, as we discussed, is our very own money. So we don't owe on that money, and therefore that is an asset. A checking account is also our very own money. So we don't owe on that money, and therefore it is an asset. A car payment you do owe, so that's going to be considered a liability. It says owns a boat, which means that boat is completely and totally theirs. That is an asset. Rent is $850 for 12 months. You owe that money to your landlord. That is considered a liability. You have a TV, which is $400. That is your very own TV, so that is an asset. And then this laptop right here is your very own laptop. And so that is $900 of asset, sorry. Okay, our next step is to go ahead and add all of our assets together. So we'll have, we'll have 5,000 plus 2,400. Plus 2,300 plus 400 plus 900. Alright, so when we add all of that together, here are our zeros. 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus 4 is 11. 11 plus 9 is 20. So I'm going to write down a 0, carry my 2. 2 plus 5 is 7. 7 plus 2 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. So our assets total to be Our assets total to be $11,000. Now under liability, it says that we have a car payment for $335 a month for 12 months. So we can't automatically just go and add that $335 a month. We have to multiply that by 12 so that we can calculate it. So we'll do 335 times 12. 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7. 2 times 3 is 6. We're on our second number, so we're on our second row. We write down a 0. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 3 is 3. And 1 times 3 is 3. We're going to add that together, and we get this. So, this is just the car payment. Alright, next we have rent, which is $850 a month for 12 months. So, once again, we're going to have to multiply 850 times 12. We have 2 times 0, which is 0. 2 times 5, which is 10, carry the 1. 2 times 8, which is 16, plus 1 is 17. We're on our second row, so we add a 0. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 5 is 5. And 1 times 8 is 8. We're going to go through and we're going to add this. And that gives us this value. Now remember, this right here is just rent. So we did all of our liabilities. We have them all calculated now. And so we'll add together our car payment and our rent to figure out our total for our liabilities. So we've got $4,020 plus $10,200. And that's going to total to give us this value right here. Now, you might notice that your assets are worth less than your liabilities. And what that means is when you go and subtract, you have a bigger negative number than you do a positive number, because liabilities mean that you owe, so therefore they are negative. So when we calculate this net worth, we're going to end up being in the negative. So we'll have $14,220 minus $11,000. And that's going to give us $3,220. But remember that it is negative because our liabilities were worth more than our assets. There's all of those numbers. I'll leave this here for just a second. And for this one right here, I want you guys to try to solve this on your own. So I'm going to go ahead and pause. And then when we come back, I'm going to walk through it together. So we're going to pause the video. Okay, so first we're going to go through and we're going to label our assets and our liabilities. So a savings account is an asset. A checking account is an asset. A car payment is a liability. Owning a four-wheeler is an asset. Owning a riding lawnmower is an asset. Owning a laptop is an asset. Paying rent is a liability. And car insurance means that you owe that money to someone else. That is also a liability. We're going to add together our assets. We've got 5,400 plus 3,000 plus 2,000 plus 1,500 plus 1,250 . And when we add that all up together, we get zeros here, a 5 here, 4 plus 5 is 9, plus 2 is 11, carry the 1. 1 plus 5 is 6, plus 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11, plus 1 is 12, plus 1 is 13. So our total assets total out to be $13,150. Now we're going to calculate all of our liabilities. We have car payment, which is $225 a month for 12 months. So we'll multiply 225 times 12. We're on our second row, so we added another 0. Now we'll go ahead and add these two things together. And so for our car payment, we have that we owe $2,700. All right, so now that we've calculated our car payment, we're going to calculate our rent. And that's $650 a month for 12 months. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry the 1. 2 times 6 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Add a 0 because we're on our second row. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 6 is 6. We're going to add all of that up together. And we get $7,800. So this is our rent. And then we have our car insurance, and that is $95 a month for 12 months. So we'll also multiply that. We're on our second row, so we'll add a 0. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 9 is 9. Add these two things up together. And this right here is our car insurance. So those are all those values. I'll leave them up for just a second, just in case you didn't get them while you were working independently. So now we're going to add all of our liabilities up together to see how much we owe. So when we add all of those up together, we find that we owe $11,640. So this right here is our liabilities. Our last step is to subtract our assets minus our liabilities. This time our assets are worth more than our liabilities, which means we have a positive net worth. So we'll do 13,150 minus 11,640. And that gives us a net worth of $1,510. I'll leave this here for just a second. All right, if you look here at your homework, one thing I forgot to do was I forgot to write in how much each of these were worth. So we're going to go through and I'm going to tell you that now. Our checking account is worth, we'll say $8,000. Our savings account is going to be worth $20,000. And our personal property is going to be worth $30,000. We're going to say that our student loan is going to be $10,000. And we're going to say that we have $3,500 in credit card debt. So on your homework, go ahead and fill in your chart with those values. Now down here, you're going to choose these as either being an asset or a liability. So if you take a look at this, it says car value. It does not say car payment. It says car value. So do with that what you will. Cash on hand, you do not owe to somebody. A car loan is different than a car value. A car loan means that you owe that money. And a certificate of deposit is an asset. A certificate of deposit is a type of deposit is a type of investment account. And so you have invested your own money, and therefore that certificate of deposit is your own money. Okay, I hope you guys do well on your homework today. Thank you so much for paying attention to the video. And you guys have until the end of class to work on your homework. If you have any questions, I will be able to answer them. Just please come up to my desk and ask them there because I won't be able to talk across the room. Okay, thank you guys.